things. Find a winner and emulate what they're doing. If you study, Forbes magazine has the 400 wealthiest people in North America that it publishes every year. 67% of them, 7 out of 10 of them, are first-generation rich. They started with nothing, became wealthy. When they surveyed the wealthiest people in North America, not your broke brother-in-law with an opinion, but the 400 wealthiest people in North America, and they asked them what the most important key to becoming wealthy was, 75% of them said getting out of debt and staying out of debt. But broke people always got a plan for a payment, don't they? Because broke people always want a car that they can't afford. They always want a stereo that they can't afford. They always want some clothing or a vacation that they can't afford. And let me tell you how you can tell if you can afford it. You have the money to pay for it. Unless you have the money, that by definition is you can't afford it. Because when you go into debt, then you're hooked to those payments. Now you're a slave. Jesus said it's tough to serve two masters. So what are we going to do about this? How are we going to get out? Well, we want to talk about breaking the bondage of debt and how you really do it in a real practical, hands-on, real-world application. See, the truth is that if you spread a lie or a myth often enough, loud enough, and with enough sophistication, eventually people will begin to believe it. And they will tell other people about the lie. And it's not that they meant to lie, they just believed a lie and they spread it. It happens all the time. See, what has happened with this is debt has been marketed to us so aggressively, so thoroughly, with such sophistication and such manipulation for so long that Americans and people all around the world have begun to believe all deep down within their heart that they will never financially be somebody unless they use debt to do it. Debt is the path to prosperity. If you want you a good car, son, you got to build your credit. You'll never be anybody unless you build your credit. In America, we worship at the altar of the FICO score. Oh, great FICO, our provider. And debt has been marketed to us so thoroughly that we now believe it's our provider, and to imagine living without debt requires a complete paradigm shift, a completely new way of looking at things. Let's play with some new ways of looking at things. If you get a new way of looking at things, you know what's happened? Learning occurred. You need to save money. You need to save money. We teach people the very first thing they do with money, what we call baby step one, is save $1,000. As fast as you can, get a little bit of a savings account. Because if you just get in there and you start cutting up your credit cards and you have no money and your tire is flat, then you're like, you're in here going, okay, I'm getting out of debt. That's it. I'm cutting these things up. I'm done, baby. That's it. I'm done. And then you go out there and your tire's flat. You'll be back in here going, where's the crazy glue? Because you've been leaning on these things. They're a rubber crutch, but you've been leaning on them. So you put a little bit of money aside as your first thing. Save some money. That's the first step. The next step is you got to quit borrowing more money. You can't get out of a hole while you dig out the bottom. So you got to say, that's it, no matter what happens. No matter what the situation, no matter how desperate or how intriguing or what the big opportunity is, I am not borrowing money anymore. Take a part-time job or an extra job or some overtime or something like that. My grandmother used to say there's a great place to go when you're broke, to work. You got to get up, leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. That's how it works, man. We're a people of action. We're not a people of passivity. We're a people that's proactive and causes things to happen. Get out there and knock something down, man. Make a mess somewhere. You know that? Go make some money. It'll solve a lot of. There's only two sides of the equation: the income and the outgo. Got to get the outgo down and the income up. Creates margin in the middle for giving and saving. This is the formula. So you really do have to make some more money. Do you want to work crazy for the rest of your life? No. You work like no one else, so later you can work like no one else. You know when I work? Whenever I want. You know why? Because I used to work all the time. Now I do what I want to do when I want to do it. I'm spoiled rotten. But there's a way you get there. You spoil yourself rotten by pouring on the coals, making a difference for a period of time. Intensity for a short period of time blows things up.